Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and today I wanted to try something that's new to the market, and that is Pepsi's Prebiotic Cola. Now, this only officially released a couple days ago at the time of this recording, and I got my hands on it early. However, I want to look at this in 2 to 3 different ways, right? Because prebiotic colas, or prebiotic sodas in general, are very popular on the market right now. And I think it all started with the resurgence of Slice. I know there were probably prebiotic sodas on the market beforehand, but I think Slice coming back as its own brand of like healthy prebiotic soda really jump-started this movement that soft drinks don't have to inherently be unhealthy. And of course, Pepsi had to jump in on this. But what's interesting is out of the big brands, Pepsi, to my knowledge, is the first one to throw their name on their prebiotic soda. I'm sure other big names own prebiotic soft drink companies, but Pepsi's going all in here with really throwing out the Pepsi Prebiotic Cola name. So what I wanted to judge this on before we get into it is how does it stand up as a prebiotic soda in terms of flavor and ingredients, but then also because they're being bold about this, being marketed as Pepsi, how does this actually taste comparatively to their regular Pepsi? Now, unfortunately, I don't have a can of regular Pepsi with me right now, but I've drank enough Pepsi in my life that I should be able to tell if something is off. So, when we look at the ingredients, they do strike you as being promising, first and foremost, because you have no artificial sweeteners, you have 30 calories, 3 grams of prebiotic fiber, only 5 grams of total added sugar, and the ingredient list isn't too bad. It's carbonated water, cane sugar, soluble corn fiber, caramel color, phosphoric acid, natural color, and stevia extract, including caffeine. Now, this does have 38 milligrams per container of caffeine, which is really on par with regular colas. So let's pop the top of this and let's see what we got. I do like, though, that the I don't want to say the logo, but just the design of the can that they're using. It has like a classic Pepsi look to it, but also like with it showing like the bottle caps. Also, I don't know, it oddly feels retro to me, even though I don't think Pepsi's ever used this design before in the past, so correct me if I'm wrong. Offhand, doing the old scent test, you get a hint of cola coming off of this, but not an overabundance of that Pepsi scent to it, and I kind of like that. It only really like just teases you. However, with that being said, it smells fresh, oddly enough, so let's take some sips. That's interesting. So, on the first couple sips that I got, right, I got your traditional Pepsi flavor, and I was really impressed with it at first because I was like, how did they do that? But as I continue to drink this, what's interesting is I get a caramel taste. Now, I know that it says it has caramel color to it, but yeah, I'm getting a weird, but not bad, almost like a caramel flavored cola type vibe. And it's really good. I like it. It is refreshing. It's different. I wasn't really expecting it to have that really blend of flavor to it. Again, certain sips I'm getting straight cola, other times I'm getting more of a caramel flavor. For it being 30 calories and only 5 grams of sugar, I like it. I like that these soda companies are now proving that you don't have to have an overly sweetened, calorie-ridden beverage, and you can actually create something healthy that's very true to form of what the brand is known for. Now, I'm not going to lie, I was very skeptical going in this. And Pepsi also does have a cherry vanilla variety of this, as well as your original, which I did buy. I might check that out in a future review, I'm not sure. But going back to it, I was very skeptical going in this because there have been times where a well-known brand tries to get on the health market or the healthier alternative market similar to this, and their product just is awful. However, this is an exception to that notoriety because this is fantastic. I like, going back to it, you have your 30 grams, or sorry, your 30 calories, your 5 grams of sugar, your 3 grams of prebiotic fiber, which is going to be good for gut health. Some brands I've seen, they have more between like 4 to 5 grams of your prebiotic fiber. Pepsi went with 3. However, it does work. It does serve a benefit. You know, it's not as much fiber as other brands, but it's still fine. Right now, I saw these on sale. I bought mine through Amazon. An 8-pack right now is going for like $6 today. I bought these for $8.27 a couple days ago. And I would buy this again. I think this is a good flavor. You know, comparatively, like I was saying, compared to regular Pepsi, I think this is different enough because it's not overly sweet. It does remind me more of a Diet Pepsi. But then that weird caramel taste that I'm getting from it gives it its own identity. So I will give it a thumbs up on that scent, or that grading score, if you want to call it that, right? Compared to other prebiotic sodas, though, like I was saying, I did wish that it would have a little bit more of the prebiotic fiber, but that's not really a super big complaint. Flavor-wise, comparatively, if I were to compare it to like the Slice Cola, it is different. Slice does taste a little bit more like a diet soda. And the cola flavor itself is a little more predominant with the Slice Cola variety. This I do like that it's hints of cola, has that interesting caramel taste to it. So it does have an identity all its own. Compared it to other prebiotic sodas I've had, I do like this. I would recommend this. I think Pepsi jumped into this with confidence to throw their own brand on it and not create like a sub-brand. And I hope this is like an eye-opener for other brands, either under the Pepsi brand or big brand soda companies, that you can create something healthy that will be tasty, will be good, and you might be able to get your sales back up. I think, you know, soft drinks over the last bunch of years, sales haven't been what they once were because people are looking for healthier alternatives. And I think Pepsi saw that trend, which is why they jumped on this. However, they did it in a way that is good, is tasty. I enjoy this. And it's kind of interesting to be able to have a Pepsi, see that Pepsi logo, but then see prebiotic soda on the bottom of it and be able to enjoy it with no guilt. This soda as a whole, for me, might go into my rotation because there's really nothing, at least from what I can tell, to worry about. The fact that it's using cane sugar, not high fructose corn syrup. Then you have your stevia extract. It's very small of an ingredient list. Good job, Pepsi. I'm going to say that with pure honesty. I like this. I'm happy that this exists. I hope it captures the market so that Pepsi might make like a prebiotic Mountain Dew, for all we know, because I do love me a good Mountain Dew, under the same vein. And I hope other soft drink companies will jump on this trend. And hopefully it doesn't become just a trend. Hopefully it becomes something that stays, because you can create something healthy for your audience that can be guilt-free at the same time and serve some benefits. All it takes is retweaking the formula a little bit and really not sacrificing on the quality. So that's my quick little review of Pepsi's Prebiotic Cola. If you guys have had this already, leave your thoughts on the comment section below. What other prebiotic soft drinks have you had that you could recommend me trying? Until next time, guys, I will catch you later. See ya. Bye.